Donald Trump is getting brutally mocked right before the World Series is set to begin between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays. The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, and the premier of Ontario, Doug Ford, have teamed up in a way to call out and mock Donald Trump in a new advertisement. We know that those advertisements are driving Donald Trump nuts, like the advertisement that Ontario took out in New York, where they used word for word Ronald Reagan's message about how he doesn't like tariffs and how he supports free trade to explain why Donald Trump's tariffs are disastrous in the United States. That drove Donald Trump crazy. By the way, that ad is running during the World Series game tonight and through this weekend. So Doug Ford and Governor Newsom said, let's make another ad together. And they put one out together. And Doug Ford said, with the Blue Jays heading to the World Series against the LA Dodgers, California Governor Newsom and I have a friendly wager going on. Win or lose, we're thrilled to celebrate great baseball, good neighbors, and a friendship between Ontario and California. Governor Newsom then writes, here's to a great World Series and a tariff-free friendship between Ontario and California. Watch the ad that they made together that they just posted right before the World Series, trolling Donald Trump. He's not going to like this. Here, play this clip.
Hi, Governor Newsom. It's official. The Blue Jays are heading to the World Series to take on your Los Angeles Dodgers.
That's right, Premier. Two great teams, two proud places. Sounds like a perfect time for a friendly wager.
Okay, Governor, you're on. If the Blue Jays win, I'll send you some of Ontario's finest maple syrup in a proper tin can, the way it's meant to be enjoyed. The tariff might cost me a few extra bucks at the border these days, but it'll be worth it for a Jays win.
That's a sweet offer, Premier, but something tells me that syrup is staying north of the border when the Dodgers win. And when they do, I'll send you a bottle of California's championship-worthy wine. And hey, can you do me a favor? Think you can put it on the liquor store shelves?
I don't think so, buddy. Talk to your friend in the Oval Office. I can't wait for the Jays to bring it home. Either way, it's a win-win. Great neighbors, great friends, and a little cross-border competition.
Well, couldn't agree more. Here's to great baseball and some friendly bragging rights.
Go Jays.
As a lifelong San Francisco Giants fan, go Dodgers. Here's to a great World Series and a tariff-free friendship between Ontario and California.
Yep, temper tantrum incoming in 3, 2, 1. And meanwhile, you had the news that in a poll, if the elections were held tomorrow between Governor Newsom and J.D. Vance amongst 18 to 29-year-olds, Governor Newsom leads by 30 points, according to Emerson. I guess J.D. Vance, not that popular with young folks. Now, as you have Governor Newsom and Premier Ford cutting that ad together, as Canada has warned the United States, those tariffs are causing inflation and harming your economy and the world economy too. We learned earlier today that U.S. inflation rose to 3% year over year in September based on the data that the government provided. Who knows if the Bureau of Labor Statistics is even giving us the accurate data, but still 3%. That's the first time inflation is at 3% or above since January. This data was collected before the government shutdown. And according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which again, may be undercounting things because remember, they fired their previous Bureau of Labor Statistics commissioner because Trump didn't like the reports. September's increase was driven mainly by rising gas and food prices, and tariffs are playing a role. Economist Heather Long said, it's a prime example, though, where Wall Street will celebrate these numbers because they'll say it came in lower than expected, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. Tell that to the American consumer who can't afford their groceries, that this is lower than they expected on Wall Street. But to most Americans, whether it's 3% or 5% or 7%, the reality is that we know when we go to the supermarket, things are way more expensive than they were. The stuff that we're buying at the supermarket on a day-to-day basis is a far significant increase than just 3%. Like, let's be very clear. You know, for example, when you look at coffee prices, double, triple, quadruple in many cases. You take a look right here. This is what CNN says. Grocery prices on the rise between September 2024 and September 2025. They claim coffee's up 18.9%, non-alcoholic beverages up 5.3%. Fruits and vegetables up 1.3%. Meats, fish, poultry, eggs up 5.2%. Beef up 14.7%. Dairy 0.7% up. Cereals and bakery 1.6%. I'm just going to say this. Anecdotally, my experience, things are significantly higher than those percentages. When I go to the supermarket, those are still high. But, I think they're higher, and personally. But you tell me what your experience is in the comments below. Democratic Congressmember Ted Lieu says inflation rose to 3% in September, the highest level since January. The harmful policies of Trump and Republicans are crushing Americans economically. Now, the only reason why this 3% number was even published in the first place is that it was needed to publish to make adjustments for Social Security cost of living. But Trump says they're not going to ever put out any other reports about inflation or job numbers or anything like that. The Bureau of Labor Statistics is done. Trump's blaming it on the government shutdown, although it's easy for them to publish these results if they want to. Folks, Trump's busy man. He's working on the ballroom. He's focused on a triumphal arch that he wants to build in Washington, D.C. These are the things that matter most, and probably golfing this weekend. We're learning as well that Trump will be naming the $300 million ballroom. Actually, it's $350 million now, after himself. It's going to be called the President Donald J. Trump Ballroom, and that name will likely be sticky, according to the Trump regime, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. By the way, this is how CBS is talking about it. And even you'll notice that they're like, this was cooler than expected. What do you mean it was cooler than expected? It's even if you accept the 3% number, it's going up right now when it was heading down under former President Biden. It's heading in the wrong direction. What do you mean cooler? This is what CBS says. Play this clip.
Well, inflation rose modestly in September, though less than economists expected. And while the rise in prices overall is slower, certain necessities are hitting consumers hard. Coffee is up nearly 19%, and utility gas, as well as motor vehicle repair services, rose close to 12% annually. Now, the top line inflation rate is getting further from the Federal Reserve's 2% target, and this is the first time we've hit 3% since January. But as you see here, that's nowhere near where it was just 3 years ago. And we're also not seeing runaway inflation from tariffs. That will likely encourage the Fed to cut interest rates again when it meets next week, and that sends stocks to record highs today.
I am obsessed with this website. It's called dupe.com, and it has completely changed how I shop for my home. Have you ever fallen in love with a couch, lamp, or rug online, and then your soul leaves your body when you see the price tag? Let's face it, prices are absolutely insane right now. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret called dupe.com. It is ridiculously easy to use. All you have to do is type dupe.com / before any product URL, and it instantly shows you similar and more affordable alternatives. These aren't sketchy knockoffs either. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Most furniture sold online is mass-produced in the exact same factories. Those factories then sell to brands under different names, who then list them for different prices. Dupe.com automatically lists these less expensive alternatives for you, so you're not overpaying just for some brand name. It's one of the most viral shopping hacks on TikTok. Millions of people have already used Dupe to save money, and it's 100% free to use. That $5,000 cloud sofa you don't think you could justify, the beautiful mid-century dresser you've had bookmarked forever, Dupe will find a similar item, sometimes even the same item, for 60, 70, even 80% off. Dupe.com really is so easy to use. Just type dupe.com / before any product URL in your browser, and boom, it instantly finds you less expensive alternatives. They even have an app and a browser extension you can download. No account required, no sign up required. It's completely free to use. Stop wasting money on brand names and start saving with dupe.com today.
But then the Trump regime sends their officials on TV like Peter Navarro, and he says there is no inflation. We've solved it. Here, play this clip.
It's a beautiful thing. And let's remind everybody, there's no inflation. None. Jay Powell, memo to Jay. No inflation, my friend.
Yeah.
As the World Series is taking place, here's what we're hearing from food bank employees right now. Play this clip.
I can't remember a time when our shelves have been so empty. I mean, over the last 9 months, we've been seeing prices raise pretty high. And so families are already struggling. So when you take that additional money away, food is going to become scarce. And I think families are also going to have to make difficult choices because if you can't eat it, you can't buy it. So think about hygiene products, toilet paper, all of those things that you're using a limited budget for now. Now you're going to have to split those things with food.
Yeah. So
you have a Republican Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky talking about what farmers are experiencing. Play this clip.
The farm economy hangs on by a thread, and now they're talking about, oh, well, tariffs, yeah, maybe they're not so good for farmers. We'll give some farmers some taxpayer money. I don't know if you can print up enough for the farms because I think you're going to have farm disasters. I think you've got a Farmageddon on our doorstep from this. And there's so much soybean. We grew a ton of soybean.
A Farmageddon, what does that look like?
Well, it looks like all your product just sitting in the fields and nobody buying it. It looks like the bank coming for your farm. You remember Willie Nelson and Farm Aid? That's what it looks like. And I think there's a potential that could happen. Now, when it happens, whether it's just fall or in the spring, I don't know, but that could be the beginning of the dominoes that will fall. We're also going to see consumers are being squeezed. There still is inflation.
But then you have your cult MAGA Republican Senator Roger Marshall. He went on Morning Joe, and here's what he had to say. Thank God we did these deals with Japan and South Korea. We've saved the farm industry. What are you talking about? There hasn't even been real deals with Japan or South Korea. What, they're giving us billions of dollars, right? We brought in 17, 20 trillion, a bajillion, gabillion dollars, right? We believe everything that Donald Trump says in the Republican Party. Play this clip.
The ranchers just now being healed. Thank God it's rained out there. We're growing our cattle herd. Thank God that President Trump is protecting and helping our farmers out in so many ways. He's the one that got us these trade deals in Japan and China and South Korea, which have led to record exports of beef, especially these high-grade, high-value beef products that we're exporting now.
So, Mr. Senator, we mentioned, of course, Argentina.
And while the American people are suffering right now, the MAGA Republicans are spiking the football. They're saying this inflation report is great. Donald Trump's Chief Economic Advisor, Kevin Hassett, went on Fox, and here's what he had to say. Play it.
Kevin, the Consumer Price Inflation Report came out today. Prices up exactly 3% over the last 12 months. You happy with that?
Yeah, it was a really good report for a number of reasons.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. World Series taking place. LA Dodgers versus Toronto Blue Jays while Trump's getting all that news. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks for watching.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.